Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Repitch where we revisit, review, and redo movies. I'm David. I'm here with my co-host.
Richard. Hey guys.
And we've got another retrospective episode for you today. We're going into Disney live-action movies.
And The reason why I chose this topic is because on Wednesday you talked about Atlantis and you pitched a live action version of that, and I thought you did a great pitch. I'm not gonna tell our audience members what rating I gave you, but you guys should definitely take a listen if you haven't. But
yes, go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, live action Disney movie. There's been there's been about 17 of them, and oh man, I think I sprinkled it throughout. Definitely when we talked about Disney movies and the upcoming Disney movies, I definitely anytime a live action Disney movie came out, I always made a sound of disgust because I'm like, oh, I hate it. It's annoying. But how do you feel, David, about live action Disney movies?
I think, I'm not too far off from you. I think I'm more tolerant of it for sure. I welcome it because I'm a big guy I'm big for advancing in movie technology and all that. So seeing all this come to life is a little bit cool for me. But at the same time, it's I don't want to see the same old stories, in a new setting. I kind of want to see new stories,
Exactly. And I don't share the same empathy for you. I just feel it they may be doing new stuff, making it live action, adding CGI, adding all the stuff, but I just see it as them wasting their time as well. They have the opportunity of making something greater or something as great. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I got you. But I mean, with this whole the way I see it is the way that they're doing live action is kind of, I feel like that's the way that Walt Disney had originally envisioned all of this. I don't know if you're familiar with one of his first movies being Alice in Wonderland. He did that whole live action
that
where he
gritty. I hate that movie. That was the first.
Not the animated one, and not the one that you're thinking of.
Oh, not the Johnny Depp one? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no. But I get what you're saying for that. But I mean, back in 1930s, 1920s,
I see. Okay.
Disney was first coming out, he actually did this whole live action thing where he used a little girl, but everything else was cartoon and all that.
And they,
so,
I know I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he really kicked that off, and I see it as this is kind of what I feel like he envisioned. At the end of the day. But again, I know that this is not the same way you feel about these again.
No, because I hate it. It was this is not, they've made, like you said, they made live action Disney movies before. They did 101 Dalmatians in 1996.
Right.
And what do you call this? Even 102 Dalmatians in 2000. They've done this before, but you definitely see them pounding that footsteps, definitely churning that butter of, okay, let's release this every year. And I try to figure out, why are they releasing this? Why are they releasing so many live action movies? Why are they producing this? I just frustrated. And Insider had an article, and it basically says, the reason why they're doing this is because they make a lot of money from this.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you on that. I think for me, the way I see Disney now, they're no longer storytellers. They're entertainers.
Oh, for sure. They're crossing that line. They love to call themselves storytellers and have that title, but they would always the business side will always come first.
Right.
Which is, I feel like they would rather take the safe bet now than risk it for something risky.
Right. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I get why they're doing it. It's almost fail safe way, and it in a way it is kind of a way for the new generation to connect with an older generation.
I just see it as just annoying, but I understand because, these live action, this CGI, it gives them a nice cushion. So
right,
just in case if they have a flop, these movies are guaranteed to make some kind of money. Four of their live action movies have crossed $1 million in theaters, and 2 of them crossed $700 million. Do you know Oh man, I'm just frustrated at this idea that people like I refuse to go to the theater and watch. I still haven't seen the live action Lion King, so I don't want to watch that. I'm like, I don't want to pay money to watch that.
So all of these, I don't know how well they did, but all of these have done very, very well, right? All
Yeah,
these live
I don't.
actions.
None of these have like you could easily say they flop. None of them.
Okay.
Like for
Uh,
example, the probably the worst one they did was Alice Through the Looking Glass. That from our what do you call this Rotten Tomato ranking. That's the worst movie that people critically hated.
mhm.
They made it with 170 million, but they got about 300 million back. That was probably the worst case scenario. But then
Okay.
you see movies like the first Alice in the Wonderland, and with a $200 million budget, they've got $1 million back. Beauty and the Beast with 160 million, they earned $1.3 billion. Also
Oof.
with Aladdin, also with Lion King, these are safe bets because people are gonna watch them.
It's
And
true.
you know what really bugs me the most?
What's that?
I feel like what bugs me the most is most of the times it's almost for like a shot to shot remake, but almost like not as good. Or like if they try to add something, it doesn't
Right.
add enough,
Right.
or like it's an interesting concept, but like they don't take it far enough to make it its own. It's just like, oh, it's like watching like it's like having a little appetizer instead of a meal, you know? Like I've already had
Yeah.
this meal before.
It's like, yeah, with the one of I think of these newer ones, I think Aladdin was one of the
Oh,
ones
for
I
sure.
saw. Um,
I mean, she
and
was
that one
great.
also,
The
it
actress
it
was
was
great as Jasmine was great.
it was great. It was good. I had fun with it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, no, for sure. But
But it like you said, it felt like a kind of like shot for shot remake
yeah.
with just like one or two new songs in it.
Mhm.
Like it's just like they just throw in these like sprinkle in these little things.
But like, if you were
Uh,
to tell me like they were making a live action Disney movie, but with Jasmine as the main character, and they leaned more into that, and maybe she found the genie instead, like an alternate universe kind of thing,
mm,
that is so much more interesting,
that is interesting.
right? But
Interesting.
like, it's
You
it's
know,
not different enough. You know what I mean?
right? I got you. They should be doing a what if series for these princess
That would
movies.
honestly be great because like if you had honestly, David, if you had the option between watching the live action and the classic Golden Age Lion King, which one would you watch?
Obviously, the classic
E-
golden age. Like,
Exactly. It's not even a question. And like
yeah,
in a lot of these movies, they shy away from the music, which is extremely frustrating.
it's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
But like for example, I just saw Cinderella, the live action one they made, and
Hmm.
to be honest, it's a pretty good movie, pretty solid. But like the lack of music or the lack of Cinderella singing, you know, "A Dream Is a Wish to Come True," that song, iconic song, amazing song. You can't help but think of Disney when you hear that tune. She doesn't sing it once. There's no singing at all. There's nothing of that, and it's missing it. You know what I mean? It's
So let me ask you this then.
I'm getting frustrated right now. Yes,
No, no,
David.
I see that. But so like you're saying
Woo.
before, like you don't want to shot for shot, but then when you come across movies like Cinderella where they don't do those kind of things,
Yeah,
it's like is that was that really like you see them kind of going in that direction where like they want to step away from it though? Like
but
is
not
that
enough. You know what I mean? Like the stuff they're stepping away from. I'm like, why are you? For example, again, Cinderella. I think it's probably my favorite this Disney live
mhm.
action movie, hands down. But there are like some
Oh, okay.
scenes that are like iconic, like her being the stepsister's stepmother's servant. Like you don't really see that as much. There's a scene where she's crying in the garden, and the
Uh-huh.
godmother comes and helps her. Like that was like it's like super quick, super fast, and I'm like, yo, that's where like the beats are really needed. But like again, there's always good and bad to any of these Disney live actions, but I feel like it's not enough for me personally. Okay,
Okay.
I might be the only person in the universe that does not like these movies as much as I do.
No, I think there's a fair number of people who will share the same thoughts. But so Cinderella's your favorite one out of all of these
Yeah,
recent ones.
honestly, it'd be probably top. Yeah, the first. It'll be probably the best one I've seen.
So can you give us some of your other favorites that are on
Um,
this list?
John Favreau's Jungle Book was really good.
Yes, yes.
He was very they were really good in it. Let me see that. What else? I just those two. I can't even like everything else just ranks middle line. Just like whatever. Like if you told me these movies are a fever dream and never existed, I'm like, yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree. I mean, like for me, 101 Dalmatians was pretty fun for me. I
Oh, that
think
was pretty great. Yeah.
that was pretty good for me. Glenn Close as Cruella Deville. I think that was a very
Oh,
good
it was
casting.
great. But you know what the thing is?
Hmm.
The crazy thing is, because as a kid, that was the first movie I saw. That was my 101 Dalmatian as a kid. I didn't see the cartoon.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Then we get to a very interesting point where kids, some of them haven't seen. I
Right.
mean, not a lot, haven't seen Lion King or Aladdin, and the live action is their Lion King, is their Aladdin. Then when they see
Right.
the cartoon, like, oh, it's not as good. But whatever your first is, that's the most significant.
Right. You're
This
gonna think about that one.
exactly. It's the same concept of like whichever Ghostbuster you saw first, that's your favorite Ghostbuster. Whatever Star Wars franchise you saw first, that's gonna be your favorite most likely.
I see.
And I'm
No.
like, oh, that's such a waste because like it's not as good, you know?
Oh, that's fair. I got you. Uh,
Oh, so you were saying 101 Dalmatians? I haven't
yeah.
seen
I
all.
think.
To be honest, I haven't seen all of them. Maybe there's a diamond in the rough, but I think
I
critically,
mean,
people
to be
say
honest, yeah.
Jungle Book and Cinderella are the best ones.
Yeah, for me, I think I gotta say Jungle Book and 101 Dalmatians are the ones. Everything else, like, I haven't seen too many of these, I will admit. The ones that I have seen, like Alice in Wonderland, Aladdin,
I mean, I heard the Mulan was
Lion
crap, and
King.
I haven't seen that. We have to. I know for a fact that you and I have to watch that together, not together
I
or
think
whatever,
so.
and we
I
pitch
think
it.
that's gotta be like a two-person repitch or
Repitch, yeah, because
something.
like I've heard terrible things about this, behind the scenes, after the scenes, just everything about it was just a hot mess. I feel like it did really badly, and it just
I have been curious about Lady and the Tramp, the remake, but like I've never, I wasn't rushed to see it, but
no,
like I did. It's one of those like, oh, the CGI is kind of
exactly.
like coming to a place where it's like this.
It's one of those things. It's like it doesn't phase you, but I think the better question is, what is the worst live action Disney movie you've seen?
The worst one
Yeah, or your least favorite? Maybe not the worst. Your least favorite live action Disney movie?
out of this short list, right?
Yeah, out of this all the list this list
Uh,
in Rotten Tomato. This is all the Disney live action movies.
let's see. Let's see. My least favorite. I guess it can't be a fair judgment, but I mean, I might just be saying this out of strong bias, but probably The Lion King.
Really? Why is Lion King your least favorite? I
Just
didn't think that one.
because the animated one was my favorite. Is my
Oh,
favorite.
so it's that you like it so much, the animated one. That's why you don't like it. Okay, okay.
Yeah, because this one, I don't know, it definitely did not hit me the same way. Even the songs, I think there's a certain vibrance to the animated Lion King that this newer live action Lion King, we can't even call this live action. It's like live action. Like
Mm.
it's still all CGI. It's not like they use real lions.
No, no, it's all animated.
Yeah.
It's all computerized. There's only like what one scene in that movie that's actual real life.
Was there? What was
It
that?
was the picture of the sunrise in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that was actually a
Yeah, that
picture
was
of the
like the
sun.
it was like the actual video of the sunrise, like just as not a
Uh,
joke, but as a tease or something.
that's funny. But yeah, for me, I guess that would be my least favorite.
Interesting.
It definitely just didn't feel the same, and I don't appreciate that.
No, that's all justice to you. Because again, these movies are the golden age of Disney
Right.
movies. Yeah. All right. I mean, like for me, my least
Mhm.
favorite ones are definitely Alice in the Wonderland, that franchise with Johnny Depp. I mean, clearly Alice Through the Looking Glass is terrible, but I hate the first one too so much.
The first one, I think it threw me off because I thought it was gonna be like the cartoon, but it was supposed to be just a sequel to that.
To the original, which like
Right?
I like
Yeah.
going there, watching that. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. But the choices they made were so stupid. Like, oh, she went there as a little kid and she misinterpreted everything as a dream, and it's not called what's it called in real life? Underland,
Wonderland,
Wonderland, but
Alice.
it's not called Wonderland, but it's actually pronounced in the movie Underland. And she's just
Oh.
been mispronouncing it. I'm like, that is dumb. And just like, you know what it is? This movie is the answer to like Christopher Nolan's dark version of Batman. Because people, I swear, like, maybe that's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of Christopher Nolan. Because of him, we got
Mhm.
these darker, grittier movies. Like, oh, what about Alice in the Underland, but like dark? Or like, oh my goodness, what about Superman, but dark and gritty? Like these kind of concepts. Like, exactly. Oh, like, you know what? Alice in the Wonder. You literally see like floating dead like heads popping from
Oh.
waters. Like, it's just really just like. I think it's like a real miss. I was complaining before they don't make enough changes. Alice in the Wonderland is like what happens. Like, hey, why don't we let Tim Burton be full on Tim Burton and just do whatever he wants? Like, this is what you get: floating dead heads. And
So I think you were kind of going around before. In your rants, you're talking about what weren't good for these movies and what you didn't think would is great for these live action remakes.
Mhm.
What in your mind can you break it down for us? Kind of like bring it all together, summarize it for us. What does it take for a live action movie remake to be great? Like,
They shouldn't make one. You know what? Okay, I'll be fair. You know what they could do? Take something that didn't do so well and make it great. Or like didn't have the opportunity or chance to do well. For example, you did a repitch on Atlantis. You did a
mhm,
great job. It was a box
right?
office failure. That is such a great concept. Like, hey, maybe it wasn't good enough to be a movie in early 2000s. Let's make it
Hmm.
into a TV. Let's make it into a live action. And I think that is something that would
Ah,
be amazing. Giving
okay.
something a second chance that failed, which is again super risky because movies are an investment. They're money. I understand, but
That's interesting.
I'm thinking purely like aesthetic art, like an art viewed it as an artist, like giving something life again.
So let's say Disney decided like all these remakes instead of like these remakes, the Golden Age remakes that they're doing right now, like
Mm-hmm.
they decided to go into their vault, then they're digging out all these like their worst movies, and they decided to redo those. Are you a fan of? Are you would you be a fan of that? Like,
Depending on the movie, but like first, if they were to tell me that they're doing a live action of Atlantis, Treasure Planet, I'll be like pretty into that. I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be really interesting. I would love to see that. And if you were telling me like,
hmm,
hey, not only are we doing live action, but we're gonna make it to a Disney Plus special, a TV show or something like that, that's even
okay,
greater. You know what I mean? Because I understand
all right.
you can't really make Lion King into a TV show, even though they
No,
have.
yeah, no,
Like
no.
it doesn't really work out. It's a one off story, but like stories that deserve better, like Atlantis and Treasure Planet.
Right. No, I do agree with you on that. Actually, I just sent you over a quick link, um, Wikipedia link to all the list of the Disney movies, live action movies, and also it kind of has a short list of all upcoming
Oh
ones.
yeah, I have that list too from Collider. You wanna go? You wanna just go down the list of movies that are coming up soonish.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wait, as
let's
we
see.
go
I
through
think.
this, we have to give it
Mhm.
a rating. Thumbs up, Mickey hand thumbs up if you want to watch it, and Mickey hand thumbs down if you just wanted to just burn, just for it to not to be made.
Okay,
How's that
fair,
sound? Thumbs
fair.
up, thumbs down. That's how we're gonna rate these. All right. We'll go one at a time. What's the first one coming out?
All right. So first one coming out is this year in May.
Mm-hmm.
Cruella, and this one is starring Emma Stone.
Yes.
This one I will if it wasn't for Emma Stone, I'd give it a thumbs down.
You
But
you're giving it a thumbs
I,
up.
I I'll give it a thumbs up for Emma Stone. I have been a fan of her, so I'll give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs down. This is what it's like. Oh, it's definitely one of those gritty. Like, oh, this is a precursor of what was Cruella Deville before she was 101 Dalmatians. Do not want to see what she's gonna have a sob story of being like, oh, she was in a bad relationship and now she's her own woman, something like that. Thumbs down, David. Don't want to see this.
I feel like I have a feeling it might be a lot more comedic.
I mean, Emma
Like
Stone
she's
Emma Stone is pretty funny.
yeah, but yeah, that's my take on it. But next movie down the list, The Little Mermaid. This one I will give it my thumbs down. I'm not looking forward to this one.
Yeah, thumbs down. Not excited. Whatever. I don't think you can replace. You can again. I don't think you could do a underwater scene that do it as well as an animated film.
That is pretty tough. I mean, I think Aquaman has got that down. Like they did it pretty well,
Kind
but it's
of. Like,
still like,
can you imagine
but
a big
it's still
chunk of
tough.
movie? Exactly. It's not as great.
Yeah. All right.
And
Moving down the
especially if
list.
there's no singing in that
Mm.
movie, two thumbs down. Yeah, it's not gonna be great. Because like Little Mermaid has those iconic movie songs.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's made because of those songs. I think.
Yeah.
Next movie down the list, there is a Jungle Book sequel.
Oh really?
With John Favreau coming back, so I think that's pretty cool. Um, I'll give it my thumbs up. I enjoyed the first one, so I'll give it my thumbs up for that.
Mm-hmm. Thumbs down. I mean, thumbs up. John Favreau. He's an interesting guy. If he's in the helm, he might do. He might pull out something different. You know what?
So
Going back to the topic, a live action sequel to a Disney movie might be interesting.
that's interesting. That
So
is
like,
interesting.
if
I'd be
they
up for that.
like if you told me that like, I mean, I know there's Aladdin 2 that came straight to VHS that you see Aladdin's father, but if they made that into a live action movie with all that production, I would kill to watch that. But again, they wouldn't do that.
It's funny you bring that up. Let's bring this. Let's
No,
go
they,
down the
no,
list.
they did not. All right, go on. What's down on your list, David?
So next on the list, I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know what's going on. But actually, I guess I just gotta wait and see. But it says that it's an untitled Lion King prequel.
Or you know what? It
So
probably is like Scars and Mufasa's childhood.
yeah, so all right. This is a little different. We've never been introduced to that side yet, so
It might be interesting.
it might be interesting. So I'll give it my thumbs up for this.
But you know what? Thumbs down for me, David. Make something different. Make something new.
All right, next on the list. Oh, interesting. Mark Webb is supposed to direct this next movie.
Mm-hmm.
He has done a lot of TV episodes. He's done 500 Days of Summer. He's the guy who's did The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, which I think is hilarious that his name is Mark Webb and he directed a Spider-Man movie. But yes.
So this next one is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So I guess we're
Mhm.
getting a real remake of that original.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, I'll give my thumbs down for this one.
I give a thumbs up to something, right? To
I
Jungle Book.
think
I give
John
it,
John Favreau.
that wasn't for Jungle Book. That was for John Favreau. Just to make it clear.
Right. Same with my Cruella. It was for Emma Stone, not for
Not
the
for.
movie.
All right.
So okay, so right here, the next movie on the list is they're supposedly planning an Aladdin sequel. So
Oh, it wasn't a
I think
prequel.
it says sequel here.
Okay, a sequel. All right.
Yeah.
It's with Will Smith as a genie, right?
Maybe. I'm
Oh,
assuming that they would want to bring him back. It doesn't say.
Okay.
But I would assume that they would want to bring Will Smith back for this. But it's funny you brought that up before, talking about how like those straight to VHS sequels,
Yeah.
that those should be the live action
Focus.
sequels.
Which would be so interesting, but you know.
So let's say that they do go with this sequel is going in that route. We don't know for sure, so we
Yeah,
can't
it's
say.
definitely
but like,
not,
let's
but-
say, but let's say that it is.
Uh-huh.
Would this get your thumbs up, or is this still a thumbs down for you?
I really didn't like Aladdin. I really did not like Aladdin or Genie. The only person I liked in that movie was Jasmine. It's getting thumbs down. I want to see a Jasmine movie, not a Aladdin movie.
Okay. All
If
right.
if you
All
told me
right.
the movie's called Jasmine, yes, thumbs up. But no, thumbs down. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Genie. I don't want to see Will Smith.
All right. Fair. I mean, this one I'll give it my thumbs down too. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one, but we'll see. We'll see.
Am I being too dramatic? I think I need to take a chill. I need to calm down. I'm gonna calm
No,
down.
no, no. I think you're just the right amount. I think people love listening to that. This next movie on the list.
I gotta remind myself.
This one was. I think
Movies
this
are
is
not
gonna be kind of.
Movies are not everything, David and Richard. Movies are not everything. You have more to life than this. But go on. What's the next one, David?
Next one. This is kind of. I think it's gonna be dark, but actually kind of interested in this one. The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
No. The animated film is a work of art. It is a complex piece where we see this villain that is understandable dealing with his lust, but projecting that feeling against, other people unfairly, and there is no way that they have the grasp or the nuance to make this into anything good.
And how are they gonna get a hunchback person?
No, they're not. They're not. I see that Josh Gad's in this. Is he going to be the Hunchback? Because I would much rather not.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're not a huge fan.
Not a fan of Josh Gad, but thumbs down, David. What do you rate it?
This, I'll give this. I'll go thumbs down for this.
Oh man, going through this list, David, I'm slowly losing hope in humanity, in myself, in life. We got to turn this out quicker, David. What's next?
All right, we got 3 more movies.
Oh, thank God.
Actually, this next one is kind of interesting. This is also supposed to be another remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's just titled Rose Red. So I have no idea what exactly. Maybe it's a different direction story, different perspective story, like you kind of
Rose Red. It's probably about the witch that made the serum.
Oh, you're right.
It's probably about her.
That sounds probably.
Yeah, let's focus on let's focus the movie on the most uninteresting, one of the most uninteresting people. That sounds great. Thumbs down.
Yeah, I'll go thumbs down for this one. And now this one, Bambi, live action Bambi. I don't know about that one.
You know what, David?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs up.
Why is your?
I'm just kidding. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. I don't need to be traumatized again about her mother being shot by hunters. I know that mankind is the worst thing on this earth. I don't need to be reminded again.
All right, thumbs down for me too on this.
Oh man,
And
I know
the
exactly.
last one,
I know what's next on your list, and I'm so hesitant.
This one. Next on the list is Hercules.
Oh, David. Chuyo, save me, Lord. David, do you know that Hercules is it's my favorite Disney movie?
Yes.
If
you
they
mentioned it.
If they mess this up, I will burn Disney World to the ground.
Well, I guess a little bit of light. I don't know if this is some light to you or not. Supposedly, Anthony and Joe Russo are tied to produce this, so maybe.
If you were to tell me that, actually, I don't know what you can do with this to make me want to watch it. Just having the directors of Avenger movies won't tie me to this.
It's a little assurance to know that they can handle this kind of job, but we'll see.
Wait, who's his name? Who's the voice of the trainer in Hercules in the movie?
Oh, Danny DeVito.
If you told me Danny DeVito stars in this movie, I'll come in. I'll watch it. If you told me that he was the Goat Man, I'll watch him.
I feel like they would have to. I feel like
no, they're not.
They should have. He's like contractually obligated to do that. It must be in his like original contract.
They're gonna get anyone else. They're gonna get like I don't know, like Mark Ruffalo to do it for some reason.
How crazy would that have been if back in the day when they were making these animated movies and all these voice actors signed on, they're like, oh yeah, in 20 years when we make the live action, you guys got to come back.
I don't know, man. That is the most cockiest thing ever. That'd be amazing, but I seriously doubt like he would. And I don't know why would anyone sign a contract like that. Like, unless I get a stipend $100 million every year, then I would not sign that contract.
I mean, I guess you would have to. There'd be some very good financial benefit from it
Mm-hmm.
somehow. What else is there? Oh, so this next batch of movies actually are, I think, just straight to Disney Plus releases.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's
Um,
one
s-
that I don't think you've mentioned, the live action. I think
oh,
it was announced. It was announced, but I don't know. Lilo and Stitch.
oh yeah, it was. It's not on this list. Oh
Yeah.
no, no, this one is actually part of the straight to Disney Plus
Oh,
releases.
is it really? Okay, okay.
Yes.
I don't
So
know.
going off of that, going straight down this next list, Peter Pan and Wendy, Pinocchio, um, The Sword and the Stone, Robin Hood.
The one
Another,
with the animals, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I guess I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're gonna be doing again. Who knows? I hope they do, or maybe there's something different. But
I
anyways,
think it is, but yeah.
um, I guess Aladdin has been a big hit, so they're making an Aladdin spin-off of something. Um, not it's very vague. It's not really anything titled. And then it's the Lilo and Stitch live action.
You know, for Lilo and Stitch, I'm always down for hiring minorities in cast. So I'm just gonna give a for what do you call it a thumbs up just to hire more minorities into acting and stuff.
Yeah,
Unless they
I'm
hire
I'm all for that.
unless
I'm
they
all
hire
for.
Emma Stone to be a Hawaiian person and actor, but she's half Hawaiian. Actually, she's
Oh,
white.
oh my gosh,
What was that
forgot
movie
about that
controversy
movie.
that they made? But yeah,
What was that movie? I completely
it's
forgot.
forgettable. That's how. But it was that
Yeah.
controversial. That's the only reason it's. I still remember it. You know, from this the list you told me that's straight to Disney Plus that I feel like might do really well. It's Sword in the Stone.
I think so too. I think because that's a story that can be told in live action. Should have
Yeah,
been, and it is a live action story.
yeah, and it's. I don't think it's what do you call it. It's that close to people's mindset that people that get that enraged that. But like one of the reasons people they're not.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Disney is not gonna change too much of a movie because someone's gonna get mad. It's the same reason people
Right.
Star Wars fans are annoyed or angry that Luke Skywalker, spoiler alert, died. It's like, oh no, he shouldn't die. He should be this god. But like whatever, it's just like. But Sword and Stone, I don't think people remember enough. Like
Right.
they
Yeah.
can easily Guardians of the Galaxy it, make it something different, and it could be super popular.
Exactly. Which is exactly like the whole idea with Atlantis and all those like Treasure Planet. What they can do with those. It's like great stories, just kind of forgotten. It's like been in the back burner.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that should be revived, as you said before.
Yes. I'm so tired, David. This episode has crippled me. I am not crippled me. That's
Just
too dramatic.
drained you
I,
of
I
your
am
energy.
I am literally drained. Walt Disney has succeeded. They have drained me of my nostalgia, my empathy, and my childhood like wonder.
Oh, craziness. I mean, I don't know if you were reading around recently, but I think one of the big studios they're looking to sell. It
Oh
might
yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
MGM.
I think it was MGM, and they have like a huge catalog of
I mean,
movies.
that's James Bond.
Yeah, and I'm like, can
And
someone?
I'm
Yeah, I'm like thinking,
like Disney, like what?
I don't think Disney will buy it because it's not practical. They don't have that kind of like. It's not like them buying Fox or like buying like Century 21. It's different, but like
I mean, you never know.
I'm
You
just
never know.
I want someone crazy like, hey, Hulu buys it and does something different with James Bond because like I've been so bored of James Bond for so many
That'd be
years
pretty
now.
crazy. I mean, James Bond, in all reality, I think it should be a TV series.
Honestly, like this, what you just brought up has to be a different episode, another retrospective. We'll go down what that company has and like go
Right.
into it and who should, to be honest, maybe Netflix if they really want to get into that game. Can you imagine
Actually, yeah,
a Netflix Netflix show
James
of James
Bond
Bond?
series.
Yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be pretty
great.
interesting.
And like every couple, they could Doctor Who it and just replace him every couple of years, and people will watch it.
I could see Amazon or Netflix doing that for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, Basil could probably afford it.
Oh, actually, Bezos is the guy. He would do that. I mean, this guy threw down $1 billion for what is it? His Lord of the Rings series.
Oh, he would. But oh my gosh, David, we're going
Yes.
over time. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm tired.
Yes, you sound tired.
I'm so dramatic. We're just talking about movies. It doesn't. In the end, it doesn't matter. We all gonna turn to dust.
Very nice, Richard. Do you have a quote for us?
How can they reach us, David?
So you guys all know where to find us on our Instagram and Facebook, drp.repitch. And you guys can shoot us an email with your thoughts if you guys have any input on recent news, anything that you guys think we should bring up, be talking about. You can shoot us an email at drpitchit@gmail.com. And
yeah, please do rate us, berate us, and please do share us. I think I want to take a break on Disney stuff for a while, David. I'm tired. But please stay tuned because we upload episodes every Wednesdays and Fridays, and you should listen to last week's episode. David pitched a pretty good Disney live action movie.
Thank you. Don't take a break for too long though. WandaVision's coming out.
No. I'm okay. But okay. All right. We end every episode with a quote. Today I'm gonna end a quote from one of our heroes in this podcast, Nicolas Cage. Every great story seems to begin with a snake.
What is that movie? What is that from?
No context. That's it. This is where we end the podcast. Good night, guys. Bye.